Good morning. It's a bitterly cold start for much of Western Europe. Over the past week, a severe Arctic outbreak has swept in, bringing frigid air straight from the North Pole. France, the UK and Ireland have seen temperatures plunge far below normal for January. This isn't just a typical winter chill. This is a deep freeze. The sudden drop caught many off guard, forcing everyone to dig out their warmest coats and scarves. From Ireland's hills to Paris's streets, the cold has taken hold. This rapid temperature drop is what meteorologists call an Arctic outbreak, when dense polar air is pushed south. The result, widespread frost, icy roads, and tricky commutes. It's more than an inconvenience. It's a real hazard, especially for the vulnerable. Weather maps today show a vast swath of blue and purple, with Arctic air stretching from Scandinavia across our region. This is a major weather event, and it's dominating the headlines. We'll be tracking how long this cold will last and what it might bring next. Stay tuned for the latest updates on this developing situation. Let's take a closer look at what's happened so far. The past few days have been tough. Widespread snow blanketed many areas, some seeing their first real snowfall of the winter. Heavy snow in Scotland, northern England, and rural France created beautiful but hazardous conditions. Roads were blocked, villages cut off, and powdery snow drifted in the wind, making travel treacherous. Airports faced delays, trains ran reduced schedules, and icy roads led to numerous accidents. Motoring organizations saw a surge in calls for help, and authorities urged people to travel only if necessary. Tragically, several deaths have been linked to the freezing weather, a stark reminder of its dangers. Thousands lost power as snow and wind brought down lines, leaving many without heat or electricity. Engineers worked tirelessly to restore supplies in harsh conditions. Schools closed in the worst hit areas, and parents scrambled for childcare. Farmers struggled to protect livestock from the extreme cold. This cold snap has tested our resilience and infrastructure. It's shown how quickly daily life can be upended by severe weather. Everyone has had to adapt to these challenging circumstances. The impact has been huge, and the situation remains difficult. Let's explore why this cold has been so intense. Why has it turned so bitterly cold? The answer lies with the Polar Vortex. The Polar Vortex is a swirling mass of cold air over the North Pole, usually kept in check by a strong jet stream. This winter, the vortex weakened, letting Arctic air spill south, like opening a freezer door. A sudden stratospheric warming event disrupted the vortex, sending lobes of freezing air our way. At the same time, a high-pressure Greenland block set up over Greenland, acting as a wall in the atmosphere. This block diverted milder Atlantic weather away, allowing cold Arctic air to pour in and linger. The combination of a weakened vortex and the Greenland block created the perfect setup for a prolonged cold spell. It's a classic recipe for severe winter weather in Western Europe. We don't see this every year, but when it happens, the impacts are significant. The atmosphere has conspired to give us a true Arctic winter. That's why the cold has been so persistent and intense. Next, let's see how this cold interacted with recent storms. Here's what happened when Storm Goretti arrived. As if the cold wasn't enough, Storm Goretti swept in from the Atlantic, colliding with the Arctic air. The result? A messy mix of strong winds, heavy rain, and more snow. Southern Ireland, southern England, and western France saw rain, but with frozen ground, flooding quickly followed. Further north, the storm brought heavy snow and blizzard-like conditions, especially in Wales, northern England, and Scotland. Weather warnings were issued for snow and wind, with significant disruption and danger to life. Gusts over 70 miles per hour caused more power outages and brought down trees. Coastal areas faced flooding from storm surges and large waves. The aftermath, extra snow made travel even harder, and flooding left a big cleanup job. Storm Goretti was a powerful reminder of how complex winter weather can be. It compounded the problems already caused by the Arctic outbreak. Different regions faced different hazards, but everyone felt the impact. The storm's legacy is still being felt today. Now, let's look at today's weather picture. Today, the Arctic air remains firmly in place. Temperatures are well below average. Most areas will see freezing or near freezing conditions, with little warmth even in sunny spells. The ground is frozen and ice is widespread. Take care if you're out. The coldest spots are in the north and east of the UK and northern France, where temperatures may not rise above zero. Any snow that's fallen isn't melting soon. Further west, it's slightly less cold, but wind chill makes it feel even colder. Wintry showers continue, mostly as snow over higher ground in Scotland, northern England and Wales. Most people will have a dry day, with some cloud and occasional sunshine. The main story: persistent, severe cold and hazardous ice, especially after clear nights. Widespread frost is back this morning and will return tomorrow. Stay updated with forecasts and heed any weather warnings. This cold spell isn't over yet. Be prepared for ongoing challenges. What's next for the days ahead? The cold weather is set to continue through the weekend. High pressure is keeping the Arctic air locked in place, so expect more cold days and frosty nights. Temperatures will stay well below the January average. No sign of a thaw yet. Snow showers will persist, especially along northern and eastern coasts exposed to the cold wind. Inland areas will be drier, but any showers will fall as snow. Ireland and Western Britain will see fewer showers but still face icy mornings. Ice remains a major hazard everywhere, especially after overnight freezes. By the weekend, high pressure may bring more dry, sunny weather, but also even colder nights. Some rural spots could see temperatures drop to -10 degrees Celsius or lower. Crisp, sunny days are possible, but severe frost will be widespread. The cold is the main hazard, but snow and ice risks will vary by location. Stay cautious and keep up with the latest forecasts. Now let's look further ahead into late January and February. Looking further ahead, the forecast for late January and February is uncertain. Some weather models suggest the cold, blocked pattern could persist, bringing more snow risks. Others show the high-pressure block weakening, allowing milder, wetter Atlantic air to return. If that happens, we'd see a gradual thaw with rain and wind, replacing snow and ice. There's a real atmospheric battle between cold and mild patterns. Small changes in the jet stream or stratosphere could tip the balance. For now, we must be ready for either outcome, more cold, or a switch to milder, stormier weather. The picture will become clearer as we get closer to February. Stay updated with the latest forecasts. Be prepared for the cold to last, but don't rule out a big change. Let's consider how future storms might be affected by these patterns. Here's what to expect from upcoming storm tracks. The path of future storms depends on which weather pattern wins out. If the cold, blocked pattern holds, Atlantic storms will be steered south, toward France, Spain, and the Mediterranean. This keeps us cold, but shifts the main storm impacts elsewhere in Europe. Any systems pushing into our cold air could bring major snow events, especially in southern Ireland, the southern UK, and northern France. If the milder pattern takes over, the jet stream returns to its usual position, bringing frequent storms, rain and wind to the UK and Ireland. The main threat would shift from snow and ice to flooding and wind damage. Melting snow could add to flood risks as milder air arrives. A change to milder weather doesn't end disruption, it just changes its form. Instead of icy commutes, we might face rising rivers and wind warnings. The next few weeks promise plenty of weather drama. Stay alert for updates as the situation evolves. Let's wrap up with some final advice. In summary, we're in the grip of a major Arctic outbreak. Severe cold, snow and ice across France, the UK and Ireland. A weakened polar vortex and Greenland block set the stage, and Storm Goretti added to the disruption. The cold is set to continue, with more frosty nights and wintry showers, especially in northern and eastern areas. Ice remains the main hazard. Please take extra care if you're out. The forecast for late January and February is uncertain. The cold could persist, or milder, stormier weather could return. Stay prepared for the cold, keep supplies at home, and check on vulnerable neighbors. If you must travel, check forecasts and road conditions, and dress warmly. Stay tuned to the latest weather updates. Conditions can change quickly. By being prepared and cautious, we can all get through this cold spell safely. Wrap up warm, take care, and we'll keep you updated on all the latest developments. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe and stay informed.